What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with the NIO, Tesla, SPY, and a couple more tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for as time progresses, and also what happened to NIO today as we saw some very interesting volatility. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. NIO was down 2.47% for the day today. It's a little bit more down during the after hours, but overall, it's still not looking that bad as we're still trying to hold above our not our 200, our 20 EMA. So it's still holding up quite decently. We saw some interesting volatility on SPY, also on the QQQ, lots of trickery today, but we ended up closing quite strong, getting a nice pump. But the question is, how will the market move going forward? Is this a fake move or is the market going to continue to hold up? I want to break down more details about that. But first, we have to look at this. What happened with our economic data? Everything was very close to expectations, but for tomorrow, we have quite a bit of data coming out before the market opens. So 1 hour before the market opens, we have initial jobless claims, we have the wholesale inventories data, and the continuing jobless claims data all coming out 1 hour before the market opens. Then we have some home sales data, and then the bill auctions near the end of the day. So nothing too crazy as the day goes on, but before market open, we have the jobless claims and the jobs numbers, which could cause some volatility. So watch and see what happens for the first or 1 hour before the market opens. Actually, we'll see how that goes, and then we'll be watching to see what effect this has on NIO. Besides that, the remainder of the week should be not as crazy since we're approaching the end of the year and we're starting to see some buyers defending their positions. Now, there's some more news that came out. On the road with Santa Sleigh, their EL6, equipped with an impressive range, not only adds a festive sparkle to the streets, but is the ideal vehicle for Santa Claus to deliver presents on time. They're wishing us a very happy Merry Christmas. That's what I just saw. That was tweeted just like a couple of days ago. That's the last thing that NIO tweeted. I just didn't really get a chance to like talk about this since I was talking about NIO Day yesterday. NIO wished everyone a very happy Merry Christmas, if anything. That's very awesome to hear. And once again, they're doing a great job at just keeping the community together. But there was more news that came out that was quite bullish to me, and that's this right here. NIO actually announced the closing of a $2.2 billion strategic equity investment from CYVN. That is once again very important. Now, we knew about this news. It's not really a surprise to me or any of us. We knew that this news was coming out. But I do want to mention that with the news coming out, we have confirmation that's very, very bullish that with the closing of this deal, we're going to see NIO and other companies just continue to grow as time goes on. So on December 18th, Abu Dhabi made that $2.2 billion investment. NIO confirmed that this has been closed, which is a great news. It's officially confirmed and makes me very excited for what's about to come. Now, to add on to this, I just want to mention that with these big investments coming, this makes me even more excited because people are becoming more and more efficient traders. People are becoming more and more excited about what NIO can do. And with the trading that's coming to the stock, with the amount of just like interest in it, big news like this are just going to help it, if anything. So why are these countries investing so much into NIO? In my opinion, it's because the future is bright and we have blue skies ahead. Now, volume was about 99 million, well above average, so we're still getting some good volume. And Mizuho is still giving this thing a nice buy rating. Price price ratio is going up because NIO is gaining some relative strength. And finally, we have a tendency of being green. What is this, like 50.55% for the of the time? So that's pretty good for Thursdays. And there's not really anything else in terms of data. I just want to mention now when it comes to the technicals, NIO to me on the 4 hour time frame is getting it's losing some momentum. Could end up backtesting the 20 EMA at 8.8 again, so it could drop a little bit more. We also have 8.43 at the 50 EMA. And what's important to note about this is that at these EMAs, you guys can see how we tested these. We hit the 200 and the 50. They're acting as support. So we have some very important supports: 8.8, 8.4, and then 8. Those are three very critical supports. I think that NIO is going to bounce around 8.4. If we lose 8.8, we're going to test 8.8 and then maybe 8.4 depending if we hold, and there should be a bounce coming after that. Now, on the daily time frame, if you look at the daily, the daily is still bullish overall. We have a nice uptrend right over here. If this thing kind of retraces a bit more towards 8.4, we could still see this thing bounce. Now we have this gap to fill that's actually below, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing kind of like came down a bit. But then we could bounce and try to break above the 200 EMA, especially by next year at 9.7. If we break above the daily 200 EMA at 9.7, that's going to be very bullish for NIO, and we could see this thing start to break to the upside quite easily. Now we got this negative crossover right here. Some people describe it as a death cross, but we're going to get a golden cross too if we just keep pushing as the 50 starts to curl upwards. That's going to be bullish for NIO too. As far as Tesla goes, I just want to mention that Tesla's looking pretty good, breaking above the daily 200 EMA. It could push higher for that 268 target. The chart looks bullish overall, but my concern about Tesla would be the fact that, um, my only concern is we have to try to hold above this range. If we see this thing lose this support at 260, we could turn back down. But the daily is looking bullish, and the odds do favor this thing pushing more for at least 265 to 268. Still looking quite strong. Apple had a falling wedge. I didn't really draw out the wedge, but it's starting to bounce on the daily. This could be very bullish for the markets if Apple gets a break above 193.5 and then it continues to hold. If we break 193.5, our next target is going to be 194.4, and we're going to see more upside after that. Overall, the daily looks bullish for Apple. Despite this downtrend right here, I think there's definitely potential for it to push up higher. I definitely think that Apple has quite a bit of potential as well. For the QQQ, I just want to call out that the QQQ is also holding up nicely. Looking bullish overall. I'm going to be looking for a break above this 412 area. If that breaks, I'm going to be looking for a push for it to get very close to this like 414 area. So it's looking bullish as well. Nvidia holding up nicely, a little bit flat on the daily. I'm going to be looking for a test of 497 to 500. And then we'll see how it goes after that as we have some tight resistance. But if anything, Nvidia is looking bullish. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. Going to be looking for a nice push to the upside. And I think that we could see this thing just continue to get close to 500 to close the year on a very strong note before we see something change when 2024 comes. So that's what I'm seeing for the market, guys. I think that NIO is going to basically drop a little bit more. It's going to retest 8.8. We'll see if it bounces there. If that fails, then there's going to be 8.43 and then a bounce. And then I still see a bounce coming. Overall, we're on a bullish trend. It could drop a little bit more than bounce. And I think that it's eventually going to later on, it'll drop, then bounce, and eventually try to break above 9.7. So overall, guys, I'm still quite bullish on NIO. I think it has potential, and I think that the news that's coming out with NIO closing some big deals is just nothing but good news. I think it's going to help NIO at least for the long term and even for the short term as well. All right, so thank you for listening. Have an absolutely spectacular rest of the day. Remember to remain calm, cool, and collected. I will most definitely see you guys in the next one. Thank you, NIO to the moon, because the long term is still incredibly bright. And peace out.